Hello again, everybody. Welcome to day 33 of distance learning. There are no official assignments due today, but again, you do just need to send me one writing activity for the week. So if you want to send me today's, that would be wonderful. For reading, of course, we have reading, writing, and math again today. For reading, I would definitely recommend your child reads Tommy Goes to a Yard Sale or another fiction book. If they read nonfiction, of course, that's great to be reading, but it's not going to help them for the writing assignment today. So pick either Tommy Goes to a Yard Sale or another fiction book. Make sure it's not too incredibly long. They should be able to get from the beginning to the end in the reading time, so a chapter book might not be the best. But then you can move on to writing as soon as your child is done with whatever book that they are reading. Again, a picture book or Tommy Goes to a Yard Sale would be recommended. And then for the reading response, you can have them jump right into that. We are going to be doing a 5-finger retell. For the 5-finger retell, we have them hold up their fingers, so their thumb, they would list the characters, the setting, they would put up their pointer finger and share the setting of the story, where it happens and kind of what time, morning, afternoon, evening, if that's applicable. The problem in the story, they'll add their middle finger. The events that kind of happened throughout, any important details with the 4th, and then the 5th finger is the ending. So they'll practice it on their fingers a few times probably, and then have them write it down in their notebook. I got rid of the section down here that's been on all the other days about like writing incomplete sentences just because I wanted this to be bigger for you. So I'm actually going to add this right in journal using complete sentences. Okay, it does need to be jotted down. And then after they're done with that book and the reading response, they can go back and do some additional reading if it didn't take the full 20 minutes or however long they'd like to read. And then when they're finished with reading and writing for today, there is math. We are doing more line plots today. Now that they know how to make a line plot or know how to look at the information on a line plot and gather what that means, today they are going to be going out and measuring 10 of the same types of objects if you're doing the activity. So stuffed animals, picture frames, shoes, or books. So have them collect those 10 items. And then in their notebook or a piece of paper, they will jot down all the items that they have, and they might have to be kind of specific. So if it's shoes, maybe think about the brand, the color, how they can tell which item is which. Same for picture frames or books. They can create an official table themselves to collect the measurements, or they can just list all the items and write the measurements next to it. Either is totally fine. And then they are going to draw a nice long line. Try to help them think through how high they want their line plot to go. They don't need it to go to 100 or anything, so maybe like 20 inches, so 20 dashes would be as far as they need to go, maybe 30. You can help them with that. And then have them add each number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And have them create their very own line plot using the data that they collected. So again, that might need some support from you, of course. If you'd rather, you can do the Envision pages. And on these pages, once it loads, on this first one, they are going to be using the table to make a line plot. So you'll see here, there's 4 fours. So they have a 1, a 2, or sorry, 3 fours. So they went ahead and did that for you, and then they want them to look at it and see, okay, well, how many 5s are there? 1, 2, so they'll do 2. Then go to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For 6, they'll put 5 dots. And then they're evaluating that line plot, and they're thinking, which is the most common feather length? Why does the number line use the numbers 4 through 9? So that's kind of on that activity here. Students are thinking through when they do create their line plot, do they want to start at 0 if the shortest shoe was like 10 inches long? And that's, a great, introduction for them on that. And then, of course, coming down here, it says here to measure the length of your pencil in centimeters and collect pencil length data from your classmates. Of course, that's not something that's very realistic. So I would say just have them collect maybe, again, 10 objects that are similar. So like If you happen to have 10 pencils with different lengths, that's great. You could have them collect 10 different types of pens or markers or shoes or whatever works for you for them to create this line plot. And then, of course, the problem solving. So that's it for the math activity for today. The main goal of this is that students know how to measure objects and can collect the data, whether it's in a table or just through listing, and then add it to their line plot in a way that is clear, makes sense, isn't too messy. And then moving on to fluency practice, they can play first to 20 with someone or get on Math Playground or one of the other math games. I keep all of these Google Slides up, so if you go to older emails and find one that has the Greg Tang or something else your child prefers, they can get on that as well. So that's it for day 33. I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.